Okay. So I saw my sister saying that the products worked. 2 people that week, and they had a little special going, free shipping. And we just looked at each other and we said, well, apparently this is a company that would work. Let's go for it. We signed up right away and started looking into it. And we learned as we went. We had no clue what we were doing. But the first half year, we just kind of learned as we went along, we found people where we could get our training. We didn't even realize there was Facebook training groups at first when we started. So we just really kind of scratched along the first 6 months or 7 or 8. But, okay, so now on the flip side, when I started with Plexus, I had no intention of taking the stuff myself. I didn't think that it would help me because I was already super health conscious, ate all the right foods, did all the herbal stuff, and yet I was always tired. I had that fatigue that is so devastating to a person where you live life on the couch. You can live like 3 hours doing something normal, and then you have to go take a nap. Okay. I had no clue that Plexus would help me. I was just going to sell it because we needed an income. We thought this was going to work. So when I first started with Plexus, my first time tasting that amazing pink drink, I thought, wow, that's not bad. And the next morning, I already felt so much better. Now, I used to deal with a lot of headaches. I was diagnosed with the low blood sugar when I was 19, so I had a lot of issues with that. Blood sugar lows and dizziness and all kind of stuff. So I would wake up at night being hot and sweaty, and my sugar would drop so low during the night. I would get up in the morning dizzy. I'd have to put my head on the floor and wait for it to clear every time I got up. So within several weeks, I went through like a die-off stage, but within several weeks, I knew that this is working for me. And that's the approach I've taken with Plexus. I don't push it for the business. For the first year, I didn't push it for the business because I wasn't making a ton of money. I thought, well, really, it might not work for people. It's really still skeptical. So I didn't have the confidence in myself or in the products or in the company like I do now. The more people that joined our team and told me their specific stories, moms everywhere are just saying this picked their life up. And then there's people with all kinds of gut issues and all kinds of, I wish I could say the diseases. They get off medicine. They have this little gland trouble, and they get off the medicine for it. And they have all the blood sugar issues and the gut issues. And see, our gut is the root of it all. That's where health begins. So because we target gut health with our combo here. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm just telling my story. Okay, so in 7 months into using this combo here, Triplex combo, is all I used my first 7 months, I experienced such a relief of severe discomfort, which is the word we can use instead of pain. So we had a couple car wrecks a few years ago, and I lived in a constant inflammation and just discomfort. So when I realized that cleared that up, I said, well, something is working. But I had a lot of past health issues. So today, I took my 6 kids. We drove 2 hours to the land between the lakes. We toured the farm there, and we drove the 2 hours home. I packed up my stuff, and I came here. I don't feel any different than I did this morning. That's the sustained energy from the Triplex combo, and I'll take the X Factor. That is what this does. I was a mother of 5, and I could not ever plan a shopping trip in the afternoon. I would be so dead tired. Now I can plan my day packed full from morning to night. It does not matter. I will not. I had a little bit of a headache this afternoon. I redid my hair. So I was kind of pulling myself. But still, this is giving people their life back. So that's my story. And on the business side, yeah, we have just doubled our income. And that's saying a lot. When you have 6 kids and you're on a very low income level, you're living off of food stamps, I hate to say it, You double your income, and now you can go buy your kids shoes. They say, Mom, my shoes tore. And you can go buy their shoes without thinking about it. And you can, what was it we did the other day? Oh, I got a whole bunch of organic food from a bulk shipping company. And in the same day as I was picking up my food in Jackson, I swung through Sam's Club and I said, hey, why not open an account? Opened an account and bought a bunch of food. And I went into Aldi and bought a bunch of food. And I have my little Plexus pay card and I'm paying everything with this. That is life-changing. When now you can buy food for your family. And you don't have to think, are we going to be able to buy gas? Or is it going to come out of our rent? Or, so that's where we're at. It has made our life comfortable at this point, but we're not stopping here. We're just increasing now. Our team is snowballing. So we have about 150 people on our team. Thank God. And I give God all the glory because it was him that led us to this. And it was him that convinced me that this was what I was supposed to do. And we just thank God for Plexus and thank all of you for being here. Now, I am going to just quickly do one thing. I'm going to do the triplex combo, and then I'm going to let Philip talk. And he's going to talk to us about whatever he's going to talk to us about. So, the triplex combo. We already talked about this a little bit. So, the pink drink. We take the little stick packs. And just take a bottle of water. I like to do glass jars because I don't believe plastic is good for you. You just dump it in here, shake it up. And so she's going to show you the little stick pack. And it's powder. And you just rip it open and put it into your water bottle or pint jar and just shake it up. And you drink it once a day, just in the morning, 30 minutes before breakfast. And it balances your blood sugar all day. Now, what happens when your blood sugar is balanced? You know what? I'm going to start using my slide here. Okay. We have a disclaimer. This presentation is brought to you by independent Plexus ambassadors and is not sponsored by Plexus Worldwide. We just do these on our own. They don't pay us to do these. We can do whatever we want to. At Plexus Worldwide, we want you to know that the results you're about to hear may vary from person to person. We do not claim to cure, treat, or prevent any disease. It's not a miracle pill. It's not a miracle drink. All it is about balancing your body. And when we balance our bodies work better like God intended them to, and then you will have amazing results. Okay. Do you or someone you know suffer from these issues? And there again, my slideshow is actually not compliant. I need to change that. We need to get on there and change some of those words. But this is the issues that our products help with. So if you know of somebody that has this kind of issues, and as we go along, if you can think of people that could benefit. So Plexus Slim, that's what I was talking about. It helps you balance your blood sugar. It was actually created for type 2 diabetics. And when they first launched it, they had people try it at first for a long while. And they saw that people not only balance their blood sugar, it started helping them lose weight. And so because the FDA allows us to say it helps you lose weight, that's like the one thing you may say. And they did the clinical trials now this summer. And now we have a official Plexus before and after tool where you can send in your pictures and get it approved. And then you have this clinical studies that we now can take to prove that triplex indeed does help lose weight. So the Slim, it is so amazing. When I started taking this, I realized I actually felt hunger for the first time. I find that hard to explain, but I had blood sugar issues so bad too where I never felt hunger because I had to eat because I got shaky. So I would have to eat all through the day or I would get so shaky and weak. So I no longer get those. I can wait 3 or 4 hours, and I get actual hunger, and I actually enjoy food. So that's just a huge benefit to me. It helps keep cholesterol, blood pressure, and lipids at healthy levels. And people take in their cholesterol numbers, or they get their cholesterol taken, and then half year after taking this, they get it done again, and their levels are lower and better, improved. And it helps you to not crave sweets. It's so amazing. I used to be a chocoholic, whatever, however you say that. So I would hide chocolate throughout the house, hide it from the kids, hide it from myself, but I'd always be looking for it. In my mind, I would go, where is that chocolate? I know it's somewhere. I know I put it somewhere. But I knew it wasn't good for me, but I had to have that booze because I was so tired all the time, kind of like some people drink coffee all during the day. So one day, I realized I found a bag of chocolates in my pantry that I'd completely forgotten about, and I realized all of a sudden that I don't look for chocolates anymore. I don't even think about it. That's how balanced my body felt. Okay, the BioCleanse magnesium helps process sugar in your body. So everybody needs more magnesium. And this is a high-quality magnesium supplement and other stuff, as sodium bicarbonate, vitamin C, and bioflavonoids. So it's a huge, huge benefit to balance your pH, keep your body oxygenized and energized. And so it helps with constipation, and most people deal with that. Or if they don't, they have the other side, and that's where ProBio 5, these two, we love to call our bio twins, and they're the powerhouse of health. So everybody most people we know start with these three together. It's called the triplex combo. The ProBio 5. I have used probiotics over the years, and I've never had one that I could actually tell was doing anything. I would buy the expensive ones, the ones that needed to be refrigerated, the ones in the little beads that were coated that didn't need to be refrigerated. I tried them all. This one, I said, well, it's probably not doing anything. Let me start taking 4. I got so sick. It started detoxing my body so fast. I got severely sick. So you don't want to start taking 4. You want to start at 1 for a few weeks. You might go up to 2, but keep it at 2 for a long while till you're sure that your body's ready. And then you can do 3, but don't just jump in and do 4, because it really does detox. And so through that summer, I would have a detox die-off like every couple months, and I would go through kind of a weird sicknesses I wasn't really used to, and I realized it was doing more die-off, and I don't get sick anymore. And if the kids get sick, it doesn't last. They take this, they might get a little bellyache one time through it. It's gone. We used to have sick kids all the time. Not anymore. I have them on this right here, these two, and they take the vitamins. Okay, so with this triplex alone, there are so many testimonies of people, just all manner of illnesses and diagnoses and stuff have just like mysteriously cleared up. Why? Why is it that this works so well? Oh, see, I forget to use my slide. Here's the ProBio 5 and the BioCleanse. You must have this for gut health. Everybody needs these. This is why we do so well with our business, because everybody benefits from these. We don't even have to push them into using them. I actually had a friend who really wanted to use it. She couldn't quite afford it. So I said, just start with the BioTwins. Start with these two. If the Slim is too expensive. And she did, and she said, I've got to find a way to be able to afford this because it helps so much. So she's going to start with the business just in order to afford her own products. Here it shows a little bit about why gut health is so important. All kinds of fungus and stuff starts with gut health. If you have bad gut health, that's the kind of issues you will see clear up. And I can't really just name it. But GI tract, this one right here, you see a GI tract. overweight and, all this kind of skin issues. It's all linked to gut. The one thing people don't realize is if you have any brain health issues, and you can think of all kinds of brain health issues. It's just, I'm trying to see how I could say it without actually mentioning the diseases by name. But people who deal with feeling blue all the time, feeling like they don't want to live anymore. Those little kids in school that are on medicine because they're hyperactive, that kind of stuff. It's all brain health. Our gut is our second brain. If you improve your gut health, you will improve your brain health. That's where it starts. Yeah, and that's why a lot of people get off of their medicine is because, improve your gut health. Okay, so I'm going to go one more slide, and then I'm going to let you, I forgot your name. Philip. I want to let Philip take it.
Call me whatever.
Right. I wanted to say more. I don't know why. So we need to dig deeper. So as Plexus ambassadors, and we're talking with people, and we find out they have health issues, we need to help them dig deeper by themselves. We don't just say, take the triplex, I have something for you. No, help them realize that it's more than just what's on the outside. Their symptoms are showing something that's on the inside, and where the root really is. So that's what this slide is. Dig deeper. Help people dig deeper and really look into it. Google your whatever issues you have and gut health. Do the two together, and then see what you come up with. Because there is a lot of information on that right now. Okay. You're ready.
I hope y'all can handle this.
Go ahead. And I have my Zoom going here, so if this is comfortable for you, so my team can watch you.
What now?
I have a video call recording right here. So if you want to if that's comfortable for you, just kind of stand right there so they can see and hear you. Is that okay?
Yes.
Or do you need someone to put that down?
Well, can you pull that? Can somebody pull that over here?
I can.
I'm a preacher. I need a pulpit. Just a little introduction. I met the Riehl's at the fair.
Reels.
Sorry.
Just real people. When I'm married, I married a real man of God.
Real man.
He's a real man.
And I was very, very impressed with them. And, throughout our lives, we meet people. I believe in divine appointments. And, you guys, I've been in, types of businesses since I was 21 years old, and I'm 44 now. And I was watching this, and I got to thinking about that. And I remember my mom trying to get me to actually do the gut deal, the bio and all that. My mom was trying to get me to do that at one time, and I'm telling y'all this for a reason because, I was talking about how your skin, your gut reflects on your skin. Well, I always had these, like, something on my legs, my stomach, the sides, I could see like marks, like I can't explain it. I've been a businessman since I was 22 years old. I started a company back then, and everybody I ever met always told me that it couldn't be done. You can't do that, blah, blah, blah. But I want y'all to know something. We've all been programmed from the day we started school to work for the man, and the man actually owns all the businesses. So you have to make a decision in your life is, do you want to work for everybody else's dreams, or would you like to work for yours? And the only difference, my mom always told me, the only difference in somebody that makes it successfully and somebody that don't is above the shoulders and between the ears. And I'm not here to try to manipulate any way or to try to convince you guys of anything. If I never see you again a day in my life, I'm going to deposit something in you today. And whether you do this or do whatever, I want you to know something, that you have to make a decision. And if you check your watch, it's probably your time because we don't have a whole lot of it. And my mom, y'all, I jump around a lot, so y'all just bear with me. But my mother tried to get me to do this, and I had these spots on my legs and stuff. And I don't know if any of you have ever owned your own business, but it can be quite stressful. I had a water treatment business, 44 employees. Started it with nothing. Started it out of the trunk of my car. And my mother tried to get me to take better care of myself. And I always thought she was crazy. You know, she's always wanting me to do some kind of colon cleanse or, you know, something. So I remember she ran up on this, you know, you need to lose some weight with this and you need to do this. And I didn't listen to her. Because we all think, you know, we got forever, right? Well, I was in this lady's living room assessing her water situation, and a pain hit me in my gut, and I fell to the ground, and I broke her coffee table, which was a $3,500 antique coffee table. I'm fat. I crushed it. So I was driving home, man, and it was hurting so bad. And as I was driving home, I heard something go just like that. But when I got home, I had this pain that I cannot tell you, even explain it to even close to how painful it was. And my wife thought I had a kidney stone. I call her Dr. Misty. She thought I had a kidney stone. And she gave me liquids. I sat there for 7 days, and I had a perforated bowel. My whole body was septic. I come to Union City to the emergency room. I told my wife, I said, either go get my 9mm or call an ambulance because I can't do it another second. Make a long story short, I come to Union City. The surgeon was on vacation. He sent me to Jackson General, and this is what I'm telling you guys has nothing to do with what I was going to tell you. I'll go ahead and tell you that. Because this brought it to my attention, man, and it's very serious. Because, you know, we eat a lot of processed foods. We eat a lot of stuff, man, that we've ate all of our life. And you know, you really need to clean it out because this is what happened to me. The surgeon in Jackson was going to the Bahamas, and he did my surgery at 4:30 in the morning. He rushed it, and he left. And I swole up this big. And my wife, she kept telling them that, you know, he's not that fat. Y'all need to do something. They left me sitting there for 8 days. Okay. So then he finally got back and comes in the room. He says, look, I got to do the surgery all over again. So he did the surgery all over again. And, you know, I don't like to mention my disabilities. I never mention them. I never give them enough. But tonight I am going to mention them, okay? If anybody that knows me, they'll tell you I'll never talk about it, ever. Because I don't believe in talking about what I can't do. I believe in talking about what I can do. Yeah. And anyway, they gave me a colostomy. If any of y'all know what that is, it's where they take your intestines and they stick it out your stomach and they put a bag on there. And they gave me a chance for my healing to go through the colon. And then I was to go back and get it reconnected, okay? And I don't tell everybody this, and telling you this for a reason. Well, I went back, and they done the surgery. A lot of negligence, and I won't get into that. They dropped the ball on everything they did. The devil was trying to kill me. Me and my wife's a children's pastor. We take care of a lot of children, and I just knew it. He was out to kill me. And he actually told me, I'm going to kill you. So basically, I come back home. I was in the hospital. I didn't tell you all this. The first time I was in the hospital for 6.5 weeks, and I couldn't eat for 5 or drink anything for 5 weeks. Nothing. And, man, I don't know if y'all ever did that, but, boy, it's something else. I mean, you ever heard of somebody getting hangry? I was getting pretty hangry at the moment. Well, I went back to get it reconnected, and the nurse, and y'all, I want y'all to realize something, man. They asked me to come. I'm not trying to persuade you guys in any way. I'm telling you the real deal, and I'm going to tell it to you tonight. so that no matter what you do in your life, you'll always know that there was a guy that told you. And I went home, or actually I was there for 7 weeks. A nurse, once they got me stabilized, I was in a coma. A nurse actually taped down the, I had these basically like hoses coming out for abscesses, and the nurse taped them down, and I had to walk around the top before I went home. So she taped them down. I walked around the top, and I was so tired. My sister come there, and I said, I got to go to sleep. So I went to sleep. They forgot to untape them. So what I did is I woke up, and every bit of my insides completely blew off. Okay, I was sweating bullets, man, like this. Okay, I had 109 fever for 9 days, and I had an 8% chance of living. And they said if I would live, I would be mentally retarded, and I would never have a quality of life. And they asked my wife to unplug it, to take me off and let me go. And my wife put my sons in the car, and she took them to Jackson General, and she met with him, and she said, here's his sons. Why don't you go ahead and tell them that you're not going to try to save them? She had to do a sales pitch on the doctor to save my life, man. To make a long story short, to make a long story short, I came home. I was in a hospital bed in the living room. I couldn't walk. When I got out of the surgery, I realized that my left leg was totally paralyzed from here down. It don't work. So not only did I have this, now I got this. Started out with this, and now I can't walk. So anyway, to make a long story short, I sat there and I went through all the things of what am I going to do. I had to sell my business. I couldn't take care of the customers because I was sick. I had to sell it to a guy, and he took over my business. So now here I am laying in a hospital bed in the living room, and I don't have a business anymore or any way to take care of my family. And I asked the good Lord what to do, and he said, well, you need to use your weapon, and you need to just sing. So I would sing, and God would take care of me every single time. When something arose, I didn't have any other thing to do. But here's what I did, man, is I started educating myself. And I was already educated on a lot of this, but I had forgot it because I went through pure hell, so I got negative, basically. I got to thinking, man, I don't know what the deal is. You don't have a lot of self-confidence when you can't walk and you're sick and there's not a lot you can do. You don't have a lot of self-confidence. And I'm going to tell you what I did. I woke up every day. I went to the office. Every day. In my mind, I went to the office. In my mind, I walked in my office and I sat at my desk. And in my mind, I was doing my business. Some days, some days I may rearrange my desk drawer if I had to, whatever I had to do. But if you've ever been in a situation where you can't go anywhere and you're hyperactive and you got ADD, all right? So then I got to thinking about reading some of the things that I wrote before, and I remembered that thoughts become things. And I started thinking, if I start thinking about a business, if I start thinking about a way out, if I start thinking and I start meditating on these things with me and God, guess what he does? He sets you up with people, places, and things every single time. I'm telling you, as God is my witness, I know exactly, because this is what happened. Is I was sitting there and I had a pastor friend call me. Me and him actually, he said, I got something we got to do. We went to Dallas, Texas. God gave me a business. I'm talking about a big business. He gave me a business, and I was still in a hospital bed in my living room. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is I started my business in a hospital bed in the living room. I became #1 in West Tennessee in a hospital bed in my living room. I did my training class in my living room in a hospital bed. And that's what the good Lord brought me down here to tell you. You don't have a lot of time. Time is not something that you want to waste, because this is the deal. Every one of us, we want a different way out. We don't want to work like a dog for somebody else's dreams. We want to work for our own dreams. And your dreams basically is to be the better version of yourself. So this is what I want to tell you today. If you want to shine like a diamond, you got to get cut like a diamond. That means the pressure. The pressure makes cold. The pressure makes cold. The pressure of, I don't feel like doing this today. When are you going to feel like it? I don't feel like getting on the phone. When are you going to feel like it? I don't feel like doing an appointment. When are you going to feel like it? Are you going to feel like it in 20 years when you're older? If you don't feel like it now, how are you going to feel like it later? Because that's like the little boy that wanted to learn how to play the piano. And he said, I don't want to go. I don't want to go sit through that. And his mama told him, she said, well, if you get in motion, then comes the emotion. If I get started, that's when things are going to start happening. That's when I'm going to find out that the Lord has got my paths all planned out. But guess what the Lord does? There is no certainty with God. There's only faith. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say, hey, I want to know exactly how much money I'm going to make every week, because that's all the money that you'll ever make every week. I promise you, I've been a businessman since I was 22 years old. I've never missed a meal, and I have never depended on anybody for my money and my income, ever. Not another man. So it's good. The version of you today is good, but it ain't great. And it definitely ain't phenomenal. So if you're willing to make a few changes, then the sky's the limit. You can't get up at late every day, and you can't just try to expect to make it being unorganized and these things. You can't do it, man. You're not. The universe is going to give it to the guy. All right. Is everything okay?
Oh, you're talking to me.
Oh, I was fixing to say, hey. All right.
Okay.
You have to go to Martin University to get an education, man. You go to the bookstore. What an opportunity. We can take anybody's life and they can deposit what they've learned in 50 years into us. But you got to submit yourself and realize that you don't know everything. See, I had to do that. I thought I knew everything. I've been in business before I started this new business. I know how to do that, man. I got that. Yeah, I got it. It wasn't the way to do it. There's different ways to do it. So if you're willing to get constructive criticism, if you're willing to grow it, I've never seen the people that you couldn't correct. I've got people who work for me. You can't tell them nothing. I mean, they'll just flat out just about cry. But you know what? If you can handle constructive criticism, and if you're willing to grow and learn through self-development, then you'll make it. Can't nobody stop you. Nobody. See, that's the beauty of this. God created this for people like me, because guess what? I come up on the wrong side of the tracks. You can tell by looking at my face, man, that I've been through it. I come up where you had to just about fight every day to survive your life. This is nothing to me. I mean, I've had guns pulled on. I've had all kinds of things that happen to me in my life. This is nothing, man. To be scared to pick up the phone, man. I've had some real trouble in my life. That's nothing, man. Right? So, but the version's not going to take you to the next level. You want to go to the next level, then guess what you got to do? You have got to educate yourself. You got to find somebody that's where you want to be, and you got to plug into them, man, and you got to listen to them, and you've got to understand, and you've got to submit to admit. If I wanted to get some admission into the big dogs of the company I work for, then guess what I got to do? I got to submit to the leadership, and I've got to learn what they do. Who's the best? Who is the best? I want to meet them. Who's the best? You think I'm going to hang out with the naysayers and the people that the whiners and the complainers, and the complainers are remainers. You hang out with complainers, and guess what? You show me your 5 best friends, and I'll show you your future, I promise you. You show me the 5 people you hang out with, and I'll show you that you are not going anywhere more than those 5 people. Every single time. You show me a kid in a bad situation, and I'll show you a kid with 5 bad friends. Every single time. Every time you do something that you say is hard, you got to remember something. A lot of people, has any of us ever heard that saying about it? Because a lot of people, their excuses are, it's easier said than done. I mean, have you ever heard that? It's easier said than done, right? Yeah. I'll tell you what's hard. It's hard. It's hard. sitting there doing a sledgehammer all day. Okay? It's hard working for somebody that tells me when to go to the bathroom and when to eat lunch. It's hard when I sit there and I realize that I don't have an education. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to get the worst job of the bunch. But guess what? It don't matter if I flunked kindergarten or if I graduated from Harvard. It don't matter. It don't matter what my daddy's last name is. It don't matter. None of that matters in this business, because guess what? Liars don't keep records, and records never lie. See, my boss is going to see my records. I don't care if he likes me or not, but he's going to see my records, man. And if he sees your records and you're doing your thing, what is anybody going to say to you? Right? You want to rise above the rest? Get the records above the rest. Because the records, if you'll know your numbers, there ain't nothing that can stop you. I know my exact numbers. I know how many people I got to talk to pay every bill I got. I know exactly what I got to do. I know exactly how many people I got to call because I have a number. Have you called enough people to get a number yet? Can you say, well, my set rate or my success rate is 1 out of whatever? You call 5 and you get shot down and you don't call no more. Man, you ain't got a very good number yet, do you? Because you got to push through it. You got to push through it, man. The universe is waiting to give it to us. We got to go get it. So what do you got to do? You got to have belief. The selling is easy. The belief is hard. And the only way to get the belief is by doing it. You're not going to believe it by listening to somebody. The only way you're going to believe it is when you do it. And you keep doing it. And you keep doing it. And you keep doing it. And that belief gets a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. But what happens is then you go in and you go hang out with somebody you don't need to be hanging out with. And they start taking bites out of your belief. The boys at work, man, let me tell you something. That ain't going to work. My sister did that back last year. And you know what happened to her? You're not his sister. You got to remember that. You're not them. It's not obtaining your dream. It's is growing stronger. See, the gift of taking action is not even reaching your goals or dreams or money. That's what you're going to find out. It's not obtaining your dream. It's growing stronger and being able to meet the best version of me through the resistance. Because when you get resistance and things are hard, that's when you're going to see the true you. That's when you're going to meet you, that God created. And because it's so hard. So check your watch, baby, because it's your time. It's your time. Now, you want to procrastinate another year, or you want to do it now? Are you going to do it right now, or are you going to wait another week? Are you going to wait another day, or are you going to wait another month? Are you going to wait another year, and then are you going to go back through this vicious cycle again and again and again when you could just go ahead and take it? If one person is doing it, that means you can do it. The world is made up of all this stuff that some man was able to do. There's nothing out there that somebody does that you can't do yourself. They could teach me to fly F-14, man, if I just sit down and shut up long enough to listen to them and let them teach me. That's what I tell my sons. I say, you can do anything you want to do, man. If a man's done it before, guess what? You can do it. You ain't got no daddy to pat you on the back and tell you how good you are. Guess what? My daddy's God. I don't need nobody. My daddy is God. I don't have to have nobody. I don't have to have anybody's acceptance. I've got God's acceptance. I don't know if any of y'all are religious. I'm not at all. I just know that God's my daddy. My daddy died when I was little. My mama died not long ago, and I know that God's got my back. I don't have anybody to brag to. I can't call my mom up and tell her how good I did today. But I can tell God because he's got my back. When everybody else is falling away, that's when he comes closest to me. If we took just the time that we watch TV, the hours we invest in vegging out, the hours we invest to go retreat, the hours we invest, that's all these people are doing. They're retreating, man. They sit in the house all weekend. They watch football because why? Let me tell you something. Victory's not in recreation. Victory's in the fight, man. Now, I love to veg out better than anybody, man. You know, watch a couple shows, eat a couple of donuts. But guess what? There ain't going to be no victory in there. Victory's in the fight, man. You got to get up and you got to fight, man. You're fighting for your life here, man. There's only two things that can happen. Either you're going to do this business and you're going to be successful, or what's the alternative? You tell me, what's the alternative, man? Working for the other man. And sometimes you got to use things as a bridge. Some of you guys, y'all might have a job during the day and you do this on the side. That's good. Do you know what that says? That says that you're smart enough to realize that you got to build a bridge. If you want to get out of where you're at, you're going to have to build a bridge. I cannot stand to hear somebody fuss and gripe about their situation. And then they get off work at 4:30, they go home, and they lay on the couch, and they have to be mad about 2 hours because their boss made them mad, and they take it out on their kids. Man, it's just a nightmare, man. I do one simple thing when I get home is I take my problems and I hang them on the tree. I had a guy that was working with me. He said, man, why do you do that? I said, because I take my problems home and I hang them on the tree. I walk in the door and I'm Mr. Motivation to my family, because if I can be motivational to all these people out here that I don't know, then why can't I do it for my kids? And then when I get up the next morning, I reach over to the tree and I pick up my problems and I take them and I go. Because that's the place for them, is on the tree, not the house. And if you'll listen to what I just said, and if you'll understand that, you'll be very successful, because most people can't do that. We could be a doctor, a lawyer. We could be anything. People are exactly where they want to be. You are exactly where you want to be right now. What is it? It's comfortable, ain't it? Comfortable. Is it comfortable? We think it is. We think it's man, what's comfortable about not being able to, go do some things or have choices, man? We go to the store and you got to buy the on sale pair of tennis shoes that you really don't like, man. Why not have a choice? Why not have a choice where I send my kids to school? Why not have a choice of what I drive, where I live? I want to have a choice, man. Does that make sense to y'all? Y'all tracking with me, man? Y'all following with me? I'm almost finished, but I just wanted to deposit something in y'all today, man. I want to deposit something. I know y'all don't know me, or you probably don't trust me from Adam, and that's okay. But if I can deposit something, I have a heart. I have a heart for this type of business. Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki both wrote in a book that I read that if they lost everything today, the thing that they would do the next day would be to go into multi-level marketing. And this is what they act like it's like that, right? I'd much rather work for a company where I don't make any money off of anybody's efforts but me. What's wrong with that, man? If you work down at the factory and you find the factory a good worker, I get you a job. What's your first name? If I get Andrew a job down here at the factory, and say Andrew walks in there and he's the best guy they ever hired, man. This dude's on his game, man. Are they going to give me anything for it? Nothing. So somebody please tell me why it's so backwards. Why is it backwards? Look, I've made money doing this type of stuff my whole life. I've never would I ever do anything different, because I can work my plan and plan my work. That's all I got to do. You got to write your stuff down. Who's got a to-do list every day? Anybody? You got to write it down, man. Every millionaire I ever met, I asked them, I said, and I've met a bunch of them, and I could introduce you to you. Hopefully I'm getting close, but here's the deal. I asked all of them, I said, what's your secret, man? If you could give me one secret that I could hold for the rest of my life, and I've been asking them since I was 22 years old every time I meet them. And I write down what they say. You know what they say, everyone? To-do list. Check it off. Make a list. Check it twice like Santa Claus. That's all they tell me every time. That's their secret, man. That is their secret. How simple is that? But most people won't do it. Because your mind is a powerful thing, man. Your mind prioritizes things. If you sit down and you check them off, it's like a game. Make a game out of it. Like, okay, I got to call these 5 people. All right, I'm going to call them, and I'm going to check it off, man. It feels so good to put that check on there, man. And you go down to there and you check it and make a game out of it. And before you know it, you've done made a game out of it, man. And you look in your bank account, and that ain't no game no more. It ain't no game no more. The speed of the leader is the speed of the game, man. And if you're in any kind of leadership, then you need to show your people how to make a list. Real simple. So let me ask you, what have you done with your time? And how's it working out for you? Honestly. I want you to become stronger. I want you to educate yourself to be the best version of yourself. If you guys make $10 million, I don't get anything for it. I'm here on a divine appointment because God told me when I met that little gal over there, God told me that I needed to make a mastermind alliance with these folks because I'm going to tell you something. They're going up, man. I can tell it. When I meet somebody, I know this gal right here, you can do it. I'm telling you, but you've got to get focused and you've got to get away from all them people that are like, well, I don't know about that. Sometimes you got to get away from the people you know, man. Because why is it that people you know don't want to see you succeed? Have you ever seen that? Man, I started this company. I called all the people I know, and they're like, man. And I'm like, I can get more out of a perfect stranger than I can my own family. Why is that? Why is that? Think about it. They don't mean to be that way. They're trying to protect you, man. A lot of them will try to protect you, and it's a good thing. It's not a good thing that they're doing it, but what they're doing is they're just trying to protect you. And that way, if you get hurt, you can't say they didn't tell you so. But we don't need anybody to tell us so. All right, now, let's talk about the law of averages real quick.
Pause this one and start the next one.
Okay. Let's talk about, I'm going to teach you guys something.